Hello and welcome back to the channel. We're back for yet another Bad Batch Season 3 reaction for Episode 9, The Harbinger, which is incredibly exciting because I think we may be getting a Sergeant Ventress this episode. I'm keeping my fingers and toes crossed. I would show you my toes, but no. Just no. Anyway, what's interesting about this is the title of the episode is Harbinger, which is defined here by the Cambridge Dictionary as a person or thing that shows that something is going to happen soon, especially something bad. Which, well, it doesn't look good for the Bad Batch, but if it's a Sergeant Ventress, that's incredibly cool. I am mildly concerned with how they're bringing Ventress back as a fan of Dark Disciple. Now, up to now, StarWars.com has been pretty clear on that they're doing it in a way that will respect the story. However, will it actually is a very different question, of course. But I'm very excited to see Azar's Ventress regardless. And that's even if she's in this episode, which, based on how the last one left off, I think it's pretty likely, but who really knows at this point. But anyway, I've waffled for long enough. Let's get into the actual episode. There we go, the Harbinger. I apologise if I've butchered the pronunciation of that. I may well have done. That doesn't look great, given that it's already looking pretty dismal. I'm starting to see what the title of the episode may mean.
Can't be prepared if we don't know what we're dealing with.
Very valid point. And again, I'm still surprised it's taken them, what, 3 seasons to, like, actually ask why they're going after Omega? I'm just surprised it's taken so long.
We've been in there plenty of times.
Yeah, so you shouldn't go in it this time because the dog's scared. Never mind. Disregard that. You're going to do it anyway. Because why not? Scoot. Out. Get moving. No. 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 When does this ever end well? That's Ventress. Holy shit. Oh. Okay. Straight into it.
I have my ways.
Certain force-related ways? Okay.
Very reckless to inquire about such things.
Question is she involved with Voss still? That's the question. This is throwing a lot of questions out there, and I hope they get answered in this episode. Otherwise, I'm going to be kind of annoyed.
Count. Consider yourself warned.
So, how is Ventress going to be involved here then? If she's not just going to come in and warn him and then scarp her, like that would be stupid. There'd be no reason to bring her back.
Wait.
You asked for this.
Given Ventress's history with the Force, I am slightly concerned at how exactly she's going to test her. Although, what are they doing? Are they now going to go, oh, Omega's Force sensitive, we're going to train her as a Jedi? I hope they don't do that. I hope they do not do that.
Trying to have balance.
Come on, Omega! You can do it!
Why don't you two make yourselves serious?
This is what Jedi. This is why Jedi didn't succeed all the time. They didn't have Wrecker and Hunter chanting them on from the background. Like, that's what the Jedi Order needed. Otherwise, you know, Order 66 could have been avoided.
You must be a
If
Jedi.
Wrecker and Hunter actually cheered them all on.
You're right. It's her.
This is not going to go down well.
Why would a separatist assassin be helping us? Who says that's what she's doing?
To be fair, their skepticism is valid.
Well, what happened?
I told you. It's too slippery.
How do you want this to go?
I have missed Ventress. And to be fair, I am wondering how Omega is going to make that time.
Wrong. Get in your ship and go before we.
So you've got her file,
You can try.
and you've thought
We've taken down.
we can do this.
So have I.
This is why you do not pick a fight with the Sergeant Ventress. She will wipe the floor with you. Especially if you're non-force sensitive. You've not really got a chance, I'm afraid. And it's really nice seeing the Force being used in this form of combat. We only really see it being used with lightsabers, but some actual martial arts is pretty cool to see, I can't lie. Ooh. Come on, show us a saber. There we go. Is that Dooku's hilt?
I wasn't planning.
That's a
killing you.
very similar hilt to Dooku's. That's really cool.
Very tempting.
We're good like that.
We were pawns in the same war.
And this is an interesting contrast, especially with Ventress. I don't get how Hunter, Wrecker, and Crosser haven't grasped this simply from the fact that she could wipe the floor with them in any fight, and she's choosing not to kill them.
Can't be
Like,
trusted. You don't know the things
kind of
she
apparent.
did during the war, Omega.
although I want to know more, how is she back? You can't just drop Ventress on her and not
chaperones
explain.
Today.
Nope. You said no distractions.
They must have told you all about the things I've done.
They did. But you also stuck around instead of leaving, so...
I like the war crimes.
And you like us. I can tell.
I'm interested on this third test. The first one's kind of like a standard thing. We've seen that happen with Luke on Dagobah, Rey in The Last
Time for
Jedi.
your final test.
The kind of speed one I can kind of get. This final one, though, I'm not sure what to expect, especially from Ventress, because she's very unconventional in the fact that she's been on both the dark side and the light.
I don't like
They're still watching her.
We gave Omega
Just from afar.
a word we wouldn't intervene.
But we will survey from a very long distance.
How does she know we're watching?
It's kind of similar to Rey now, like
I blame
Rey
the
and
three
Luke's dynamic
overprotective
a little
shadows
bit.
for your lack of training and discipline.
It's also good to have some more clarification
If you
on
seem content with
midichlorians.
that, perhaps this is a waste of time.
That is pretty sick. That is cool looking.
Intentionally. Hang on.
You gotta give it to Star Wars. A lot of that character design stuff is just amazing. Also, Ventress's look with hair looks really, really cool. I'm glad they kind of tried to keep that look for her resurrection. Surprised Crosshair didn't ask her to swim back, to be honest. Although that might have been, yeah, slightly rude. Mind you, he is also Crosshair, so... I mean, the fact that Ventress, like, managed to actually track them is pretty much testament to that already. So they should already be moving out of this place, but still.
My own.
You're not worried about the Empire coming after you?
Let them
Let
try.
them try.
There we go. That's what we
But
like to hear.
I've got a few lives left.
Huh? Got a few lives left. Okay, so all in all, it was an interesting episode having Omega kind of explore the fact that she potentially has Force potential. The way I took it at the end of the episode is that Ventress thinks she does, but the problem is her connection to the Batch is what's inhibiting that. So therefore, she won't be able to use her abilities until she cuts them off, which I don't think is exactly correct. I think she probably can. It's just going to be more difficult to do it with them as opposed to without them. It's easy to cut them off and then just learn upwards, because that's just how the Jedi did it. But we know that you can still have connections and stuff and still wield the Force, even as a Jedi. If you look at Obi-Wan Kenobi, if you look at Luke Skywalker as a key example, he started learning the Force when he was already not attached necessarily, but had relationships with Princess Leia and Han Solo. So yeah, that's interesting. Seeing Ventress explore that dynamic was cool. I'm more just wondering why it had to be Ventress. For those that don't know, Ventress was given a canon death within a book called Dark Disciple, which concludes before the Clone Wars finished. So Ventress was dead by the end of the Clone Wars. Until now, they've decided to bring her back. And they've not really explained anything. Now, I'm still kind of holding out hope that she's going to have another appearance in this season and they're going to try and clear some things up, or they're going to be dropping some additional material that is going to explain how Ventress has returned and what's going on with her and Quinlan Voss, because Quinlan Voss is also still alive and they had a pretty big thing going throughout the entirety of Dark Disciple. I mean, if you look up the cover of Dark Disciple, it is those two on the cover. They're the main two characters. Now, the fact that they've brought Ventress back isn't inherently an issue. It becomes one, however, if they don't give a reason for it, if they don't want to expound on why they did it with Ventress without any other reason than just shock value. Again, given what StarWars.com said before the release of the series, in that they will explain it and they are not trying to disregard the source material, I'm still holding out hope for the end of the season that we're going to have some form of explanation. Keep in mind, we've got 16 episodes this season. This is episode 9. So we've got 7 more episodes of the Bad Batch until it ends, so we very well could see more. But yeah, that's kind of my whole thoughts with that. I'm still, yeah, just kind of concerned about the fact they've brought Ventress back without really explaining it. But the fact we got to see her again was cool. I just wish that it didn't feel like it's currently kind of disregarding Dark Disciple. But again, they may well choose to expound on that before the end of the series. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed that's what they're doing. They didn't really waste any time with this episode. They went straight into it, which I can always appreciate. But yeah, I feel like the rest of the batch didn't get much of a focus other than them kind of not trusting Ventress. Although, yeah, that didn't really have any kind of, not conclusion, but you would have thought it would have kind of shown that, you know, they can just trust people. Everyone was pawns in the war. And I guess it does kind of show that, but I guess it doesn't really show them coming to that conclusion themselves. It kind of just assumes that they have, which, you know, it's whatever. But no, all in all, I thought it was a good episode. I'm just kind of, yeah, more or less upset with what they've done with Ventress. And I will be until they choose to explain it. But I'll give them till the rest of the season before I kind of say this is an issue. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that will be all for today's reaction of the Bad Batch. Please be sure to be back next week for the next episode. I don't really know what to expect from the next episode, to be honest, because it's not really saying what's coming. Now, bringing the whole Harbinger thing of a person kind of foreshadowing bad events, Ventress is presumably the Harbinger, so I'm assuming bad things are going to happen in the next episode or in the next couple of episodes, given the episode title, given that it was Ventress, and honestly just the vibes of the episode with the kind of rainy, stormy nature of the planet that they're on, which is usually very kind of vibrant and sunny. It doesn't foreshadow very well for them. So I'm thinking maybe they get invaded on that planet by the Empire. Maybe something else happens with them. I don't know. Who knows? Anything could happen in the next episode. My point being. So be sure to come back next week for it. Until then, though, thank you all very, very much for watching. Dropping a like and a subscribe would be fantastic and would really help me out. But until then, thank you for watching and see you in the next video.